classic FA Cup concoction as the full flavour of the competition comes to York. A tight little ground with a capacity of 12,000. The locals wondering whether York City, whose side cost less than £20,000, can topple Arsenal, whose team cost over £4.5 million. It's a day for dreams, and for nobody more so than 18-year-old Martin Butler, who starts only his second match in the York attack. Martin's father, Ian, was in the York side, which last met Arsenal in the Cup 10 years ago. Ian's 40 now, and he's here today to see if young Martin can add to the goal he scored on his debut against Walsall in the last round. Butler, one of 9 players who cost York nothing. Number 9, Keith Walwyn, 12 goals this season, cost £4,000. Number 10, Keith Houchin, top scorer with 14, cost £15,000. And at number 11, 19-year-old Alan Pearce replaces unlucky Gary Nicholson, who has a hairline fracture. Arsenal keep the side, which put 7 goals past Hereford, and this is not entirely unknown territory for them, because internationals Mariner and Sansom have played here in the past for their previous clubs Plymouth and Crystal Palace. Referee Don Shaw of Sandbach passed the pitch fit at about 9 o'clock this morning. So much work done by volunteers to make this surface playable. It's taking a stud, and it's York City in red shirts and blue shorts playing from the right. And Butler, number 8, gets an early touch. Walwyn's in the centre, and it's still young Butler. Arsenal in yellow and white. That's Brian Talbot to Viv Anderson. Memories of 1955 being stirred here today when York, numbering Tottenham among their victims, marched to a semi-final replay as a third division club, which they are now. Talbot looks for Mariner. John McPhail across. Here's Anderson. Williams. McPhail was stretching a bit. Woodcock tried to turn, Talbot. And here's offside. Mariner goes for the return from Woodcock. The flag was up. Anderson. Nicholas couldn't collect. McPhail. Hay. Walwyn's offside. This opening 20 minutes littered with offsides at both ends. But once you commit yourself on this pitch, you have an awful job to turn and get back. That was Hazelgrave. And then Houchin. Mistake was by Sansom. This is Butler. Caton tried to cover, but Butler's on his way. Can he stay cool here? Ford! Ford had the shot, but all the build-up was down to the persistence of the youngest player in the side, 18-year-old Martin Butler, who latched onto Sansom's error, defied even Caton's attempt to stop him, and then set up the shot for Gary Ford. Well, there's the Arsenal bench. Don Howe wearing the cap and checking his watch, knowing that today was going to be a right old battle. Arsenal having to slug it out, figuratively, with the third division side. Butler laid it back to Hazelgrave, and Walwyn's onside. Now they've got a chance, York. They're piling players forward. Not a bad cross, and Pearce was there, but it wouldn't quite fall for him. That was a promising break by York, because for the first time, Walwyn beat the Arsenal offside trap. And if the ball had fallen a little bit better for Alan Pearce, York could have been in the lead. Nicholas. Talbot. Woodcock. Crowded out, but Nicholas. Now Woodcock again. Robson. He's got Kenny Sansom coming up. Good play by the England fullback. Really good. And Mariner was waiting, and it was taken away from him at the last by Hay. A good run by Kenny Sansom, who's made goals in both matches since he returned. They're not offside this time, but Walwyn couldn't direct his header. Woodcock looking for Nicholas. Pearce. A first half of precious few scoring chances, spoiled largely for the crowd by the number of offsides. So York still haven't let in a goal in the FA Cup this season, but on the other hand, they haven't forced even a corner out of the Arsenal defence in the first 45 minutes. Well, you need a drink to keep warm in this weather. They've got a thermos flask down there. This match really a measurement of how far York City have come since Dennis Smith and Viv Busby took over here as the managerial team in 1982. There's a progressive board of directors behind the scenes at Bootham Crescent, and York's crowds this season are higher on average than for 10 years. Fouled by Woodcock and MacPhail. Forward, and Caton very solid at the moment. Anderson to Talbot. Good play by Woodcock, and Mariner's in position too. Woodcock on the chase, and well collected by the young goalkeeper. There was no offside flag, and Woodcock, with Mariner supporting him inside, saw the chance to go, and he went nearly all the way. Good piece of keeping by the 21-year-old Mick Asprey. Just wonder as the afternoon wears on whether the temperature will drop and whether the pitch might start to freeze in places. Williams. Sprazier. It's a good-looking ball. Butler. Walwyn's in the centre, the only one who is at the moment. Still Butler. Good chip. Oh, Anderson, a fine header. But Walwyn half wins it back from Talbot and concedes a free kick. But York City there got round the back in the presence of young Martin Butler. He went for the line and the chip cross was ideal. It took an England piece of defending by Viv Anderson to rob Keith Walwyn of what would surely have been the opening goal. Dennis Smith, the manager, is wearing the hat at the end of the front row there. He can make himself heard from that seat, I can assure you. And Mariner up against Hay. And well stopped by Asprey. Mariner forced some daylight there in the York defence by getting away from Hay, but the goalkeeper was calm and well positioned. Senior. Only as far as Sansom. Back into Williams. And Sansom stays forward. This is where he could be a threat to York. Butler and Walwyn on the chase. Tommy Caton. So the play switches rapidly from one end to the other. Good play by Williams. Robson then. Only to Hay. And Walwyn through the centre. And Walwyn! And Caton! Drama here in the goal mouth. But it's come out again to Pearce. And there's a player down, it's Walwyn. after he collided, I think, with Lukic. But play's gone on. Not now. Well, suddenly, Walwyn saw his chance. The through ball had beaten the defence. Out came Lukic. Walwyn did enough to beat him and then took a clattering. And Tommy Caton had the presence of mind to get back behind his goalkeeper and make what may prove to be a vital clearance. Anderson. And Butler, it's 2 against 2. Still Butler. Oh, what a good effort by the 18-year-old. He really has risen to the occasion. Hasn't been overawed for one moment. And tried to do there on his own what others have failed to do by a more circuitous route. He went straight for goal. And Woodcock trying to pick his way through, but York so persistent in the tackle. Walwyn, Butler, Walwyn, Houchen in the centre. And he missed it by about a foot. Here's Pearce. Wide. They haven't got their crosses in particularly well. But when Walwyn put that ball in, it was the right ball, and Houchen, harassed, it's true, by Anderson, didn't miss it by much. The third division team are giving it everything, and they're not far away from scoring. Ian Allinson is coming on, and the man coming off is Charlie Nicholas. Sprazier, Ford. Now, last week at Chelsea, remember, Arsenal were caught by a very late goal. And we're in the last minute. It's Butler, Houchen and Pearce waiting in the sun. Oh, Houchen went down under challenge, yes! Penalty! Houchen went down. Stevie Williams was close to it. But the referee has given a penalty to York in the last minute. You couldn't ask for a more dramatic finale. And Houchen, the man who was fouled, has put the ball on the spot, and he could put York City in dreamland here. It's all down to Lukic from the Arsenal point of view. Side score in the 90th minute. Houchen from the spot. And the fans respond in the obvious manner. The players know there's a few seconds perhaps left. Don Howe disconsolate. The press make their notes. The ground is in a fervour. Dennis Smith on his feet knows how near he is to a place in football history. Because if his side knock out Arsenal with that Houchen penalty, it'll be in the record books for all time. Hazelgrave offside. And how well Houchen did to keep his nerve. Who would want to take a penalty in the last minute of a cup tie? But he put it right in the corner, didn't he? Giving Lukic no chance. We're in injury time, and Arsenal at the other end have got to try and save it now in desperation. Anderson is in there. Woodcock's in there. Houchen defending this time. Number 12, Allinson. Sanson. And Mariner coming in. And Williams. And Williams again. And Butler. Can he play the right ball? It's 2 against 1. Houchen's got to put it back to him. And Butler gets foiled by Robson. Senior, Hazelgrave. Oh, that was a strong challenge. And Arsenal are on the brink here of a another cup disaster. And the crowd here, or most of them, just can't wait for the whistle. They're poised for the greatest celebration here since 1955. Well, Arsenal have left O'Leary up the field, hoping to break away. Walwyn must surely go for the corner. Senior. And out by Robson. And would you believe it's York City's first corner of the match? Hay to take the corner. Ouch in his near post. Goalkeeper's come for it. And there it is! York City of the third division have put out the Arsenal. A marvellous cup moment for these underdogs who waited for the time to strike. It came very late in the day. It came from a penalty. They'll argue about it. I thought Steve Williams did foul Houchin. Houchin himself scored from the spot. And it's 1955 all over again at Bootham Crescent. Then they put out Spurs and went on to the semi-final. Now they put out Arsenal and go on who knows where. A great tribute to the way Dennis Smith prepared his team. Arsenal felt they'd done the hardest part, and where their season goes from here, well, that's the Monday morning story.